Hump day. Nah, I don't got a camel joke for you today. I hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We are about 60 degrees today. Got the lawn mowed because we're supposed to get some rain. Last night we got a wonderful surprise at about 6 o'clock. Our well died. I do not know how people can live in areas where they do not have running water. My goodness, is that terrible. Even worse is when you've got animals. You just, oh my goodness, it's just a lost cause at that point. But our neighbor Larry came down, got the well fixed. It was a fried wiring harness for the pump. So we are all set. Water is back up. Dogs are happy. They're fine anyway. They say they can drink out of the pond and go swim and have their fun. Hope everyone's doing wonderful. We've got Memphis, who, of course, wants to be here on Dog Talk Live. I think she just does it to try to get like the old food out of my beard. And she just gets a kick out of it because it lets her clean me up. But she is happy. She is more than excited to be here on Dog Talk Live, as we can see. And she just yawned, so she's already bored of me. As you guys check in, please let us know where you're from. Please let us know what your questions are. We love taking questions from people here on Dog Talk Live, and it's always great to see what part of the country we have people checking in from. We got Sherry checking in from Pennsylvania. We got John checking in from Florida. Today, I took the dogs out. I've got an area that is really long grass. We're supposed to get quite a bit of rain in the next couple of days, so right now it's dry. It usually does hold puddles. So I worked with the dogs on heavy cover retrieves. Not necessarily long thrown marks. We were probably dealing with about 25 yards, just tossing basically a bird in, and working on a couple things at once. Working on having them retrieve a bird, obviously, and then also working with them on finding stuff in the taller grass. If you have a dog that is out retrieving, the mistake I see people make consistently is they get nervous and they start telling their dog to hunt it up. Hunt it up, hunt it up. The dog's already out hunting. Let the dog alone. Shut up and just let the dog go. I had a dog on more complex retrieve during training. It was where the dog was on the land, went into the water, back up onto land. Dog did it fine when the bumper was thrown right at the edge of the pond on the other side of the land. But when I threw it up there about 10 yards deep, and it was on mowed grass so the dog could see it, the dog really struggled. I guess I'm a little different than a lot of trainers. I try to train dogs more as hunting dogs than as competition dogs. With that, I mean, I would rather a dog be out and struggle over and over and over again as long as they're looking and have them eventually find it, because I feel that makes them better hunting dogs. It makes them better at finding the prey. Now, when you're running a competition, there gets to a certain point where the dog needs to pick something up, so you hit the whistle and you handle them over to it. On this one, the dog actually swam all the way back to me, didn't get out of the water, but swam back and was looking to me to give her direction, and I just ignored her. I just stood there like a statue and just let her swim, and she eventually went back and was like, all right, I know where this is. She got up on shore, and it took her forever to figure out, yes, that is the bumper you need to go get, and she went and got it. But the next time I threw it out there, then she succeeded really well. She ran right up there and get done. If I ever want to do that drill and have them find it quicker, I will put a white bucket out there on shore on the other side so that you're throwing the bumper near that bucket, so that the dog has something, again, that they're really marking. But on today, it was more about letting the dog learn how to persevere. You can take a dog's perseverance from them, and they very much can end up where they quit, and they look to you so that you can help them. And that's good when you're handling. You want the dog to obviously look at you, but you want the dog also to persevere and to hunt very, very hard. So that was something that I wished you could video it and it would make sense. but I don't think people would want to watch a video of a dog struggling for 30 to 60 seconds not finding something and then have them find it. But I've watched this over and over with dogs that we train, and it really helps them if you just shut up and let them figure out the puzzle. Think of it that way. In their mind, it's a puzzle. And when it's going to apply, when you go out hunting, you're never going to have everything that works out perfectly. You will have dogs that go into cattails and come out several minutes later, and owners always brag, oh my God, my dog was in there for like 4 minutes. It's probably 30 to 60 seconds. But either way, the dog persevered. The dog went in and did its job. And you're going to get that more often when you are working with the dog to and letting them hunt as opposed to helping them. So I hope that is a good tip for everyone today. Memphis is definitely really enjoying her time here. I'm sitting on my lap. Let's see if we have any questions. Please, again, let us know where you're from. We got Grand Rapids, Michigan with Tim. Mark is checking in from rainy 54-degree Oregon. Hi, Mark. We're ahead of you today. My cousin Brian's in Waukesha, Wisconsin. How you doing, Brian? John is 100 miles. Let's see, from 100 Mile House, British Columbia. Good to see you, John. Thanks for checking in. Again, as you guys check in, let me know if you have questions. Let me know what we can help with. If you've got hunting questions, too. Hunting season is coming. When I hit about July, I really am dreading training dogs because all I'm thinking about is September when hunting season opens. But such is the life of a dog trainer. You always have them here. You're always working with them. But it is coming, and hopefully it will be a good year. I am very excited for this year. Waterfowl season last year was pretty tough. We got flooded out pretty bad at our duck camp, and really hopeful that this year we have normal rain to slightly under the normal amount of rain so that we can dry our place out. Memphis is trying to very much get herself set up here so that she is completely in the way of the screen. And I think we're going to actually put her down. Ugh. There we go. So again, let me know what questions you have. Let me know where you are from. It is great to talk to everyone today. We have Garrett from Southeast Iowa. I'm going to put a poll up. Let's see. We thought we had a poll. There we go. We're going to put a poll up for your favorite ammunition so everyone can vote now. I can only two. We put Heavy Shot and Federal as the two ammunitions that you can vote on. If I had to vote, I will say that Heavy Shot is my favorite. I shot Federal before I shot Heavy Shot. I'm sure a lot of them are fairly comparable now, but I could not believe the difference in the sound of Heavy Shot because of the powder they use. They use a higher caliber powder if you've ever shot it. The knockdown power of it, it's some crazy good stuff. Now there are some of them, some of their brands, Heavy X, which is like, I think it's like $48 a box. I will tell you, I would never pay $48 a box for a shotgun shell, but it is impressive stuff. I mean, it just knocks the crap out of things. So put your vote up, Heavy Shot or Federal Premium, for what your favorite shell is. All right. How you doing there, Braden Fletcher? I'm gonna need a picture of you with that dog and a hat. Send me that over. Good to see you on here. Tim, any thoughts on stopping a dog from digging in the yard? Tim, if you tell them no and they're still doing it, I would have your dog e-collar conditioned, put them through obedience training, and then I would tell them no and nick them with the collar if they didn't stop. So I hope that helps. But yeah, use your obedience commands and use your e-collar so it gets them to the point where they don't do it. Sherry, Jeff, could you please talk through teaching honoring again, especially if you're training alone? I am struggling. I have 2 adult females and they just want to compete with each other. Sherry, Get someone to work with you so that you can really work with the dogs on a level. If you can't, if you really cannot, you need to get two dog e-collar, and I would actually probably go to two e-collars and have one in each hand so that I could correct the dogs if they're not honoring. Are you talking pointers or retrievers? If you're talking pointers, I'm not real high on my pointing dog IQ. You're going to have to do your roll command and reinforce that with an e-collar. I don't know how you go about that. If it's retrievers and you're doing water retrieves, you're going to tell the dog sit. When the dog, if the dog has broke a lot, I will actually tell the dog sit again and nick them with the collar once. And then I throw the bumper and I will nick them the minute they move. Now you can start that with having only one dog, and I would take one dog out and I would throw the bumper 10 feet out in front of you and just get the dog used to only going when you release them. So it's going to be a week or two of work with each dog separately so that they understand that the expectation is they're only going to go on their name. Don't use fetch, because if you use fetch, you're going to, obviously both dogs will go get it. But that's why we release dogs on their name, because in theory, you aren't going to have two dogs with the same name. So I hope that helps. Retrievers. Okay, so I hope that helped you, Sherry. Let me know if you have any other questions on that. But I would work with them single on short hand-thrown retrieves, maybe even only 10 yards, 5 yards in front of you. You could even amp it up and use frozen birds, so the dogs are really, really excited. But work with them so you have complete control on them separately, and then work with them so that you have control as you are working with them together. All right. Any other questions? Dog Talk Lives usually go about 15 to 30 minutes. We try to answer all the questions we can. If for some reason you have a question and the live event is done, you can absolutely put a comment up later. We got Racine, Wisconsin checking in on YouTube. Hello, John. You can email me if it's something you don't want to ask on the Facebook page or YouTube, sportingdogtv@gmail.com. We're more than happy to try to answer any questions for you. Let's see, Sherry. They're both very steady with having bumpers thrown all around them. Dogs release name only, and thank you. Yes, Sherry. If they're steady by themselves, try to amp up the excitement level. Always try to take a step back in your training, no matter what you're working on, and then take your step forward so that you are in a position where it is going to be successful. I've got a cat fight going on. I can hear outside. It is just wild. Hello, Wendy. Yes, I got your deposit. I am not telling you what you're getting, Wendy. It is a secret. It's between myself and your husband. Again, let me know what questions you have. Let me know what concerns you guys have about hunting, about your dogs, puppies. I will tell you, I put a post up today on the Facebook page. Be very careful if you're trying to buy a puppy right now. Someone actually called me and said that they saw a Facebook message where they could get a puppy. They sent a deposit in and it was a scam. It is so busy right now in the dog world. Everyone wants a puppy because everyone is at home. And it is, I will tell you that any good kennel likely will not have anything at this point until late summer into fall. We're right now filling the last of our fall litters and then looking towards winter for deposits that we're taking in. Make sure you buy something quality. Make sure you buy it from a quality business, and make sure you get a quality health guarantee. So it's don't jump just because of timing. Make sure that you're buying something so you don't end up regretting it and having a bunch of bills later on and having a dog that doesn't fulfill what you wanted to fulfill. All right, let's see. Garrett. My dog retrieves great, but as of lately, he brings back the bird. He wants to hold it longer than usual. He eventually brings it to hand, but only after he's gratified himself. LOL. Garrett, do you have your dog e-collar trained? If your dog is not e-collar conditioned or trained, you're going to want to work on that. E-collars are a great thing because it allows us to correct dogs at distance. Hey, enough. You also would want to work on force fetch so that you can, said cat that was fighting outside is now outside the door. You'd want to work with your dogs on force fetch and basically go through the entire training process. You got to get through force fetch, e-collar conditioning, and hunting obedience before you move on to birds. So look at it like building a house. If you didn't complete one of those, that's why you're starting to crumble and have issues, is you didn't build the foundation of your house, so it's starting to fall down. All right. I've got 4 kids. Is there any big no-nos that can ruin training from home life? John, there's nothing that will ruin training per se. One of the things I've seen is kids will ruin training because kids will watch parents and then decide they're trainers and start punishing dogs and giving them commands, and the dogs get very confused. So my big thing there would be just separate things out, work with the dog separately, make sure that the kids aren't trying to enforce any commands with the dog. I always tell the kids when I've got the dogs in the house, when the dogs are younger, they have a crate they can be in. And with that, the kids are told, well, my kids are older now, but when they were younger, they were told, you need to leave the dog alone when the dog's in the crate. There's no poking fingers in there, no kicking the crate, no doing anything. That is the dog's safe place. You might want to also put the crate into a quiet room so that the dog, when put away, has peace, solitude, and understands that, yes, they have to listen as well. So hope that helps. Let's see. I'm trying to. There we go. Should you let him have his moment? Garrett, no. If you are working on force fetch, e-collar conditioning, and obedience, you will know that the dog needs to listen on all of those. So you got to go through that stuff, and you've got to get them so that they are biddable and trainable and understand. It is not, you're not punishing, you are training. So if you haven't done that, you got to find yourself a program to go through and work with on that. All right, we got Otto from Plover. How long for training in a day, and what is the best to mix it up? Otto, I work with dogs once to twice a day for 15 minutes each session. As far as mixing it up, you need to get yourself a program. You're looking at getting through your e-collar conditioning, your force fetch, your hunting obedience, and then from there you're going to start adding in field related type drills. So find yourself a good book, find yourself a good DVD series so that you can get into that, and then you can get the dogs going in a step-by-step process so that you're building the foundation of your house and then building up sequentially so that you don't end up where you're skipping steps and running into problems. Hope that helps. John, can you recommend a collar to use? John, I have Dogtra and Garmin are the 2 collars I really enjoy to use. They're both good collars. They both have fairly good quality to them. So those are the collars that I use here. Albeit I do have a sport dog, I have a DT Systems, and I have a Cabela's brand. So we've got all sorts of collars. They all work, and if they last, if all of those last with me using them for our dogs and how much we use the collar in a day, it should last someone that has 1 or 2 dogs quite a while. All right, let's see. Wendy, do you like the e-collar with the sound and vibrate and then shock? Wendy, I will tell you that I think the biggest disservice to dog training is putting a praise tone or a warning tone or beep or hey! Hold on a second, guys. I got dogs in the house. I'll be right back. What are you doing? All right, I'm back. I've got a cat sitting up there that the dogs are not happy with. But again, a e-collar where we have a warning tone, that's conditioning the dog to listen the second time. That's giving them the one more time. So if you are warning a dog, you're telling them one more time, next time I'm going to correct you. Basically conditioning the dog to listen the second time. Easiest way to explain that is I've told people when I have a dog and you have a dog, and we're both standing there. Your dog listens the second time, so you give it a warning. My dog listens the first time because there is no warning. And a bunny rabbit comes out, and the dog is running toward the road. Would you rather have your dog or my dog? You call your dog, it keeps going because it gets one more time. I call my dog, and it spins and comes right back to me. It's a pretty simple answer. I understand that it's not a rocket scientist answer, but again, if you are training your dog and they don't do something, you tell them to sit, and if they don't sit, you nick and correct them and tell them sit. You're going to get a snappier response and a more obedient dog. So I hope that helps. Let's see here. See what other questions we have, as I got to go chase that cat out of here. I love that you're such a normal guy in a nutty house. Yes, I am a normal guy in a nutty house. And I had a dog trying to go through a screen door, so I apologize for yelling. But there's this little tiny orange cat. It must be a kitten out there. And I heard the one dog was getting owly, or the cat outside was getting owly, and the dog was growling a little bit at the door, and then boom, they decided they had to try to fly through. So that is not acceptable in my house. So you guys got to hear my parental dog voice. With that said, that's pretty much the end of Dog Talk Live today. I hope everyone has a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. We're expecting a lot of rain tomorrow, so I'll probably be able to give everyone a little bit more warning than what we did. If you have another question, please put it up as a comment. I will come in and I will check it later. If you want to bring a question tomorrow, bring it on in. We love talking dogs. We love trying to help you. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care. God bless.